What's good, people? Welcome back to the video. Today we're out into the Weeknd, Memento Mori, episode 9, Kissland edition. You guys have been fucking bugging the hell out of me to do this, man. Ever since we did After Hours, we sort of finished the discography, and this was sort of one of those one-off things, this and the Noise EP, but I mentioned the Noise EP and a lot of you said not to check it out because it's tracks you didn't really want released. If that's the case, then, you know, I don't want to promote art that he didn't want released, so probably going to leave that alone. But we are going to check this one out. I presume this is like a few sort of unreleased tracks. I think it's something to do with Kissland moving up the charts or something like that recently, so I decided to drop this, some unreleased stuff from Kissland. If you guys have seen my Kissland reaction, you know that's probably one of my favourite Weeknd projects. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description below. But I've been meaning to check this out for a little while. It's been a couple weeks since After Hours, I think. Honestly, my time and clock and everything is all over the place. But I've been looking forward to doing this, anything, you know, hearing anything new from the Weeknd. It's like 8 sort of snippets / tracks. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I doubt it's 8 full tracks. I don't know the quality of the tracks. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you, apart from the fact that it's snippets and leaks and whatnot from Kissland, man. But I'm looking forward to it, man. Welcome back, the XO family as well. You know, I've been doing a couple features here and there, but I know a few of you are probably going to come out for this one, so what's good? Before we jump into it, guys, if you're new around here, please drop a sub. We're on the road to 3K, and we're trying to hit that as soon as possible. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, description below, and of course, drop a like and a comment on the video as well. I really appreciate it, but without further ado, let's get into this, man. Memento Mori, episode 9. Let's go. Okay, track 1. Don't know if it's a track, but we're just gonna go with track 1, Memento Mori intro, brackets, I love you. Let's check it out.
It's so hard to say the same thing. Are you so weak to say the same thing?
How moody the production is already just taking me straight back. It's quite exciting.
You are now listening to Memento Mori, episode 9. Kissland edition. A special thank you episode to the fans for showing so much love to Kissland this week.
There you go.
A collection of songs that inspired this universe and a few records and ideas that didn't make the album.
Okay, that was the intro. Not too much to take from that, really. Just explaining what this is. Can someone let me know what Memento Mori is? This is episode 9. I don't have a clue what the past 8 were. If someone has any context, let me know in the comments below. He did this Apple Music, didn't he? I think someone give me a bit more context on that. Okay, track 2, which is probably an actual track, is One of Those Nights demo. Pretty sure One of Those Nights is the Juicy track featuring Abel. But we're gonna check it out, man. What is that instrument? I'm loving it already. It's giving me like mad nostalgia for some weird reason. Okay, that was One of Those Nights demo. Great to just hear those vocals again, man. A bit more of a raw form. Because we're watching this on YouTube, or listening to this on YouTube, I get confused because there's no like real sort of recognised transition between the two, and I usually pause between each track. So if I end up missing something, you know, obviously you'll know which track it is because I'll edit it, but I might get a bit confused because, like I said, there's no real pause in between. It seems like just one continuous thing. So far we're going okay. Track 3, Angel Face. Let's go.
Memento Mori.
Girl, it's okay, you can call me by my real name. I kiss your legs, I kiss your eyes, I call you Angel Face. And I've been single for half a decade, and I think I'm finally ready to settle down for like a bit until I hit the stage. And you got money, that's the last thing running through your mind. We always joke, but you can tell when you look me in my eyes.
Okay, this is what I'm feeling like is a real sort of unreleased song. I'm loving how sort of raw and isolated these vocals are, and I'm loving how sort of laid back and slight the production is. I don't know whether that's just down to the quality or it just being unreleased in general, but I'm just loving how sort of delicate and fragile this feels, and you know, the lyrics feel very close to home. Again, it's just feel like a very emotional track, but it's fantastic to hear, man. It's quite exciting, really, because I feel like this is the only other sort of Weeknd stuff that's relatively new, not new to my ears, not new to the world. Obviously, it's a long time ago, but yeah, man.
Come to my city, I like to say I'm living pretty nice. 4,000 square feet at the Trump above the city lights. I got no furniture, I just moved here, but we can throw it down.
Loving the simplicity, just the clicks and the hi-hat.
Girl, I lost count of time.
Okay, I now know that that little memento thing is when it's moving on, bro. That was a really nice little snippet. You know, the thing that's going to annoy me about this, I would listen to it and be like, where's the full version of that? And I presume a lot of other people will like that. And let me know in the comments below what you sort of thought of this and which tracks off here you were like, I wish, you know, they sort of came out as actual tracks. But I love that, man. Like I mentioned, really slight, nice, fragile sort of production and vocals that were very smooth and, you know, felt very, you know, a lot of passion and emotion in those very few lyrics. But I liked it, man. Okay, this is For Your Eyes, track 4. I'm liking that, man. It's giving me vibes of something else. What's that reminding me of?
Medicate my soul with your lips. I need to forget that my love's at peace with another man.
Bro, this is crazy, man. Again, like I was mentioned before, it's these really, really sort of fragile, passionate, quiet sort of vocals and lyrics, and it's just feeling so emotional. And it's just, again, just really slight production. I know I'm repeating myself from the last track, but it's the same sort of hymn sheet, man. It's really nice. I'm liking it. The sort of drums and the hi-hats, they're reminding me of a Slum Village track for some weird ass reason. I don't know if anyone else knows what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments below. You probably don't. It's sort of the drum pattern that's just slightly reminiscent of a Slum Village track that I can't think what it is off the top of my head. But I'm liking this, man. It's sounding very much like MJ on this as well, man. Just, you know, the rawness of the vocals is really impressive, bro.
Misty, she said this is for your eyes, only this is.
Hearing all the sounds coming in and out, it's so raw. And the tone of his voice as well, man. Projecting so much emotion.
I just want to breathe.
Bro,
I've been up for days.
loving this so much, man.
I just want.
I'm loving how raw the production is. It's so minimalist again. It's so slight, but it's working so well.
Please relieve the stress.
The emotion in his voice. This needs to, why is this not a tune, man? Why is this not like a full thing? Bro, just I'm really blown away by this, man. The way he's utilized all the different sounds of production, the way he's using his voice, his tone, the emotion, it's taking you to another world, man. He's painting a picture. It's completely, it's the definition of immersive music. Like, I feel completely immersed. You can shut my eyes and I'm just like, just really listening, and just his tonality of his voice and it's working so well. And I've always talked about how he matches up so well with his production, and it's so impressive. It's ridiculous. Like, it's so ridiculous. And I'm pretty upset that this wasn't released just as a song. You know, just, this is crazy, man. This is the first full sort of track, I think, from this so far. That Angel Face, I think it was called, wasn't as long. Like I said, man, I just feel so immersed in it. I feel like it's completely swallowed me up in a positive way, and I'm just embracing it in a whole nother manner just for what he's created. It's just, oh, bro, it's the production, man. It's just the different elements just sort of wailing in and out. It just puts you in a trance almost. It's insane, man. It's that tiny little sample that's just come in. Just gives you chills, man. Just over that piano. Okay, that was track 4, For Your Eyes. That felt like a full thing that I'm really frustrated wasn't an actual track. That was brilliant, man. I don't want to repeat myself too much because I sort of explained how I was feeling about that throughout. But just fantastic, man. This sort of really eerie, slight, I keep using slight, but this very eerie, slight little piano that just ran all the way through, and these different elements sort of working their way around this piano with just this really raw, emotional sort of lyric that just felt, just his tone, man, just what he was doing and the way he was projecting that emotion and that passion using that vocal, and the way it just rode over the production so well. And like I said, I just felt so immersed in that completely. And again, like I said, it was quite spooky almost, you know, it felt quite dark and, you know, slightly depressing, you know, lack of a better word, but fantastic, man, fantastic. That's what he can do. That's, oh, bro, that's the sort of shit, man. It gives you chills, like I mentioned. It's crazy. Okay, track 5, Heavenly Creatures, V2. Let's go. Sounds like a siren mixed with a whale. Okay.
Hannah is free when a shot turns a stare into a smile and smiles into removals of a dress.
Wow.
She got confidence and the Bible commands her to resist the thing she most appreciates.
Already the attitude, man, running through this. It's got like a rock-esque to it, you know? The filter he has over his voice, I mean. Wow, man.
She's got confidence. This friend don't like man, but does what Evelyn says. Evelyn's free.
This is really interesting to go from the last track to this. Already the tempo sort of took me by surprise instantly, but this weird sort of filter you have over his voice is reminding me of sort of in the same ilk. There's a slight rock style almost. It's very interesting, like he's almost, his vocals are about to break out. It almost feels, I can't really describe the filter over it exactly, but again, just the tempo, just the drums coming in, it's just very interesting. So polar opposite, and not something I'm probably have heard from him so far. I'm enjoying it though, it's sounding really dope. Stylistically, the instrumentation is fantastic as well. It's interesting, man. Like I said as well, the attitude for it as well. All these different drums, man. All the different layerings sort of adding up. I have heard this before, haven't I? This is already a track. What am I talking about? Well, I must be, because that riff is so reminiscent. Oh, what tune is it? I don't know what song it is, but that riff, I've heard that riff on a Weeknd track before. It's like a rock version, it's like a rock remix of that. Not quite rock, but up that alleyway. A lot more instrumentation. Okay, that was track 5, Heavenly Creatures, volume 2. Realised it said These Girls. That wasn't the name of the track that I was thinking of. Someone let me know what it was. I just recognised that riff and that lyric, of course, as well. But interesting, man. I like that. It was a different sort of style. Stylistically, pretty left field, to be honest. Like I said, a lot more instrumentation. It felt a bit more rock-esque. I feel like it's really easy to say it felt rock-esque when you just have a certain couple instruments, so I don't want to brand it as that whatsoever. That's just the style initially I was sort of recognising in my head, but I enjoyed that, man. Probably not as much as the one before that, but I did enjoy it. It was something a bit different. Just vibed out to it, man. It was very interesting. Okay, track 6, Another One of Me. Let's go.
I can love you only for the night. I can love you for the night. Don't get pain from no one.
Like, it's really easy to listen to this after you listen to The Weeknd a lot and you forget how good the vocals are. Okay, you can't forget how good that is.
Another one of me won't come around again. Another
Okay, that was track 6, Another One of Me. I'm finding it sometimes quite difficult because you listen to these after getting used to the longer ones and being like, oh, I can, listen this out. And then you end up not really discussing it too much. I'd say really that was just a lyrical vocal sort of exercise. Just the way he was rising. There's about 4 rises where the pitch just rose and rose and rose. And then I even mentioned in that sometimes you forget and you don't appreciate how good the vocals are because you get so used to them. And then when you take a step back, you're like, whoa. Then he just did that, and I was like, no one could forget that. If any time you forgot how good his vocals are, was just the rawness of it and the power he has, but the control he has too. It never feels wayward or crazy. He has such great control and such a great way of portraying emotion through those vocals as well, man. Fantastic, bro. I've really enjoyed this so far, man. It's been great to sort of revisit this sort of. It's great also to listen to this and revisit the time frame and that time when Kissland was in the making, which I think is just great, man. Great, this has been really fun. Okay, track 7, Money, Power, Glory. Let's get it.
The sun also rises for those who fail the calls of losses and wins and fails and
Loving how
falls.
distant the production feels.
Well, I can do it if you think you really like that. I know what you really want, baby, baby, baby. I can do it if you think you really like that. You should run, baby, run.
I want money, power, and glory.
It's the production, man. The synths. It's creating a movie-like atmosphere. Feels very triumphant. Hell of a lot of high vocals in this. The pitch is just constantly rising. Okay, that was track 7, Money, Power, Glory. Again, man, revisiting that sort of cinematic, movie-like atmosphere that he creates. Just the pitch as well. I think that collaboration was very cool. I thought they bounced off each other quite well. Again, the production felt extremely sort of distant and cinematic. Like I said, it felt very triumphant. Like you just finished a movie and some crazy shit had just happened. But Abel hitting those high notes, I feel like this whole thing has just been, Abel's just gone, fuck it, man. I'm just going to show off my vocal prowess almost. And oh God, bro. God, I preached it on a previous Weeknd video. His vocals are just unmatched, bro. There's very few, and I've always said that just his control, his power, like I said, just his range as well. Unreal, man. Unreal. Okay, track 8, last track. Heavenly Creatures, V1, version 1. Don't know why version 1 was after version 2. Don't know. It says bonus after it as well. Last track, man. Let's check it out.
When a shark turns a stare into a smile, and a smile slips off the strap from her dress.
Wow.
She has no confidence. She fears his holiness. Her life is nothing but a test. And I'll be free, 'cause the Bible commands.
Very interesting backing vocal.
The things she most appreciates.
Very interesting, man. It's weird. He's almost sounding like he's narrating a story. I presume that's what he's sort of going for. It feels very storytelling-like. But the way the production is matching up with his voice, at the end of every sentence, there's sort of like a triple backing vocal that's sort of, saying something in a very high-pitched tone. It is The Weeknd, but obviously it's, taken away from that. But it just feels like he's narrating a sort of story, and the production is progressing with the story and what he's saying. And it's painting a crazy picture, man. I'm enjoying it. It's very different. I'm just sort of very immersed in it at the moment.
Why don't you meet my friend Evelyn?
Emily or Evelyn? What's he saying? It's almost like slight murmurs.
Evelyn's free. Her lips are cold. High heels, open toes.
So it is basically just mirrored from the previous one with just completely different production style. Almost feels like the last one was a bit rawer. This still feels very raw, but it feels slightly more done and there's a bit more done to it, and it's feeling a lot more cinematic than the last one. I don't know which version I necessarily prefer, but this one feels a bit more Weeknd-like, and the last one seemed slightly more experimental, but I've enjoyed both of them so far. I presume this is the version he ended up going for. We didn't go for either of them, but you know, this is version 1, which I feel like is more him stylistically, if you know what I mean. But it's interesting, man. It's very interesting. I'm enjoying it. Definitely enjoying it. It's an interesting last track. There's still quite a lot of it to go though, so I'm wondering, don't know where to go from here now. Can't believe the sheer length of this track. It's the way his voice cracks. That's what I mean. It's the imperfections that make it perfect.
These girls born in 90s are dangerous.
How delicate that is.
Just playing get faded. Ooh, these girls keep touching on their bodies.
Such an isolated vocal, man. He feels this close to the mic, like this close. Don't know what that's a microphone. Seems like he's almost spiraling down to something. Okay guys, that was the Weeknd, Memento Mori, episode 9. Bro, that was fantastic. What a great little listen, man. I thoroughly enjoyed that, to be honest. I've been looking forward to doing this for a little while. I really did enjoy Kissland, and it was great to sort of revisit this time frame, like I mentioned before. Some really solid, cool sort of tracks slash snippets slash whatever exactly you would call this. It was really great to listen to all of this. Hope you guys enjoyed me checking it out. Someone let me know, or people let me know in the comments below, what was your favourite off here? What would you wish you sort of developed into an actual track and released it officially? I think the standout for me was For Your Eyes. That just hit different, man. There was something about it. There was the rawness of it and just the emotion and everything about it, really. The production, the way it all married up, how dark it felt and how personal, and you know what I mean, just felt very eerie, and I loved it, man. Like I said, I completely immersed in it. It took me to a different planet, man. And the music, that's what I love music to do, is to just like, it's a sense of escapism and to just take you away and just completely immerse you in the world that he's creating within that track. I just think it's absolutely fantastic, and I really enjoyed that one. And you know, I enjoyed majority of them. Both the Heavenly Creatures I thought was really dope. Yeah, man, there was some slight experimentalness to it, but you know, also extremely reminiscent of Kissland, obviously, as these were tracks that were going to be on Kissland. But overall, just really great to sit down and listen to this, man. Like I said, I've been looking forward to doing this for a little while. I'm now sort of worried that this is really the last thing to check out, but there is rumours, or not rumours, he sort of said that if there could be an album coming out after COVID. I'm so hyped for that. Anyway guys, if you like the video, drop a like. If you enjoy my access point, you'll see me again, then please drop a sub. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, description below. If you have any requests for any of the Weeknd or anyone else, chuck it in the comments below. But for the meantime guys, I've been Charlie, this has been Memento Mori episode 9, and I'll see you in the next one.